4, 3, 2, 1. I didn't think I would say this for, a Marvel or the Marvel universe. I think it was very often for DCU or DCEU that things are getting cancelled and things are moving, no risk, and this and that. But Marvel news has come out that many shows and movies which have not worked, the characters which are not bankable, they're actually cancelling all that and only gonna focus, which gives them a guaranteed hit, and that's very interesting. So we'll be discussing that and more Marvel news about a leak cameo we're gonna see of Henry Cavill in Marvel. So all that we'll discuss. Hello guys, welcome to Society and Nona Prince, joined by Rohit and Harneet
Hey
and
guys.
someone else as well.
Hello, hello.
Sahil has just joined us
Sahiba.
as we start the discussion.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
कैसे हो
So
साहिल भाई?
एकदम बढ़िया रोहित सर.
Sahil
आप
is
कैसे
our
हो?
in-house Marvel lover and DC hater. So good to have you for this
Definitely.
discussion.
Yeah. I have no shame in admitting that.
That's great. But what do you guys think about this latest developments in MCU that Disney CEO has said that they're gonna not, go ahead with characters and projects which have not done well, which includes Ant-Man, which includes Captain Marvel, which includes Eternals as well. And there was some pushback from Kevin Feige for Eternals, but it doesn't look like things are going great, and they're only gonna focus on guaranteed hits, the big projects. That's their focus now. What do you
Yeah,
guys
they are
think?
trying to play safe, right?
Yeah.
It's good only. I mean, like I think this is what people were anyway expecting from them, and they are just. I think they're just they've accepted their own defeats. I think in the last 3 4 years, whatever has happened. So I think it's the only logical step they have left right now. With, I mean, what else could they have done? Just continue just making all these mediocre content, mediocre shows and movies. That was anyway not giving them like getting them the like neither the box office collection nor the engagement online for the TV shows. So I think this was a pretty obvious thing to do, and I think that's what they're doing. So happy for them.
But I think happy I would be like, I want good stuff, but I didn't think them using this term that we are not gonna take risks. That is something, has
But they
really.
did take risk, right? And that failed. So they have done the
Did
step of
it
taking.
did it really, like, the failures what we have seen in the past were the risks that they took, or were just not good products?
I mean, writing wise, it was a travesty, like the stories which Marvel has told in the first couple of phases are hard hitting stories which connect with the audience a lot. And because you see yourself in them, and that as we were moving towards the more spiritual and the more cosmic side of things, and the more fantastical side of things, that relatable latch was gone. I think so. Maybe like a pattern was there. I'm not sure of it. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. But now they might do more grounded projects, more things which have worked, like more individual characters. Okay, for example, I don't know if they're gonna resurrect Tony Stark again. Very possible they might, you know.
After the
But
Oscar
again,
win,
that's also
maybe.
maybe very very probable. But I don't know if RDJ will come to do Iron Man again. Um, Even if the money is a lot, because he probably might want to move towards prestige projects like Oppenheimer. You know,
S-
so that's there. But I want to see more grounded stuff from Marvel. I miss my Winter Soldiers. And I'm not in the mood for Multiverse of Madness anymore. I think the multiverse hype has also died down a lot over the past couple of years and months. So I just want to see some grounded stuff. Like grounded and good storytelling in general.
like Echo.
Things which Echo wasn't good, yeah. Echo was very muddled in its storytelling. That's the problem, right?
I just
Uh,
want to share what I wrote about Echo. You
sure.
greenlit a show for a tertiary character from a show on the new hero taking up the mantle of a side character of your main IP, which
Wow.
like even before its releases. And if you don't know,
Wow.
I'm talking about Echo and
Very well put.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, very well
Even
put.
Hawkeye
Not
before.
in Hawkeye, Bishop. Kate
No,
Bishop.
no. The show Hawkeye, before it even
Yeah.
came out, you announced
Mm,
that the character in that show called Echo, which is not even the main character in the main plot,
yeah.
it's a side character. You're doing a spin off show on that.
Yeah.
That, like,
I
how
mean,
can that make
I
sense?
think this is bad on Kate Bishop. Like Kate Bishop should have gotten her own show before Echo getting a show on her.
Do you think they played that diversity card there, that it's not just the character is mute, the
And that's
actress
what
is
I'm saying. I
also
think
mute
that's
and
what
she's
in their head,
amputated? Like,
in their head, that's what their risk was. That if we give into the whole internet hoorah of like how much we talk about, like if a normal person or if any analyst honestly goes on the internet and scrapes the entire internet and finds about what are the things which are being talked about every single day or most talked about, it is this diversity, it is this woke stuff. If we can try to like combine, like put everything under that umbrella, and it does not matter if it is being talked about in a good sense or the bad sense, but if somebody like talks about just from the data point of view, it is the most talked about thing. And I think that's what they were taking a risk of. Can we just mention about that? But the biggest issue I think that from that was that it will also get lost between this entire all this conversation, because the number of topics which come about this whole about the woke culture is almost new every single day. Like if there's something we're talking about right now, like whatever is the current news about in the woke culture, it won't be the most famous thing next week. And that's what the issue with this also it is. Let's say what do you call it, this Echo is like very well in diversity, it might not be the talk of the town next week. That is I think what like they're losing on.
Hey Nolan,
And if
what's up?
Oh,
they,
it's houseful today, guys. After
yeah,
a
Rachel.
long time on Indian Geek
where is
Society.
Manoj?
You think he'll show up? It's Marvel.
I mean, I showed up, even though I
You
didn't
showed
show
up
up
the
for the
moment
DC.
Sahil said woke culture. And you popped.
I'm here to fight it.
Is woke culture the new Brahmastra?
No, when that happens, the stream crashes.
Yeah, like when there's crime, they signal the bat signal, right? So when there's woke culture, I have to come to fight it.
But woke signal, the woke signal.
Okay, I'll take some inputs from Saga Nation in the chat. Problem was not the character they chose. They just made bad movies. Start off by who you hire to write and direct. And there were news about this, in some months back, that they're actually canceling people, like firing people who have, like they are making it more streamlined, the way they choose writers and directors for to run the shows and make the movies. So that is happening behind the scenes. Plus Bob Iger and his shareholders majority is trying to fight against the opposition shareholders trying to take over the company, so he can just be saying this to win shareholders on his side. All that inside thing I don't think we care about, but that can be the reason. But the truth is that there are some changes happening behind the scene. Let's be clear here: Ant-Man 4, Captain Marvel 3, and Eternals 2 were not cancelled. They were never announced by Marvel, nor the trades. None had writers attached. I don't think it's a point that they were into like writing this and all and they cancelled. I think they just cancelled that we are not gonna go further with these characters and their films. Like,
Yeah, like
would you guys be interested to watch Ant-Man 4?
Let me just jump in. There are 2 points I just wanted to put. Uh, Sahil's point was, correct in terms of the writing, and you guys are talking about stories and everything. But there is a saying that you can't just have your own cake and eat it too. We didn't like Ant-Man 3, we didn't like Marvels, we didn't like Eternals, right? Nobody liked it. It was not even polarizing after a point. People didn't like it. So if they are canceling those projects, which would have continued those characters which we didn't like, characters or movies or anything related to that, we can't just say, why are you canceling them? People didn't like it. It's not just about the money they didn't make. Ant-Man made a decent amount of money, right? The movie was not good. What they did with the characters was not good. The story was not good. And if they think that they can't do justice to those storylines for their own movies, it's better to just call them off, right? And use those characters in assembling movies, as Avengers and other movies. They can use them. It's not that they are just killing off the characters, right? So
Yeah.
if the audience doesn't like a movie and they're canceling it, we should not be like, oh, why are you canceling it if people are not liking it? We were the ones saying a few months back that this movie should not have been made like this. This would have worked better, right? So it's one of those things, like you can't just say I don't like the movie but don't cancel the sequel for that. It doesn't work like that. Second, if Nona, you remember when WandaVision was coming out, I told you like these TV shows were just like side quest.
Yeah.
You're gonna just watch them. The people who love Marvel will go watch them, and they should not have that kind of effect on the stories in the movies. That no, you need to watch this TV shows, only then you will understand the movie. If that happens, people will lose interest in the movies also, and that's what is happening. Until you watch a show, you will not be able to catch up what is happening in the movie. The biggest example is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. If you didn't watch WandaVision, you will not know what is happening and why is it happening and all that stuff. And a lot of people who went to watch that movie didn't watch WandaVision. So that is why they are putting their focus off from TV shows now. They're like, we are done with the TV shows. We are done with the special presentations. Werewolf by Night was nice. It was nice, refreshing, but not a lot of people watched it. So they know that if they want to introduce a new character or a new kind of story, movies are the way to go, right? Plus TV shows are very low budget as compared to the movies. So neither the audience is liking it nor the content they put out is up to the mark in terms of VFX and storyline and everything. So why are you putting out shows which put your audience two steps back when they are going to the movie theaters? As we say, like, should not have to do a homework before you watch a movie, right? So all these past things that they were doing, and in contrast, DC is going all out. This is like our games will be connected, our TV shows will be connected, our animations will be connected,
I don't
and
think it's a
everything.
great
And I'm
idea.
like, I don't think that's a good idea. Even that Marvel is backing off from their interconnected different IPs, right? They are focusing on the movies. Same happened with Armor Wars, which is now being cancelled, as I have heard. First, it was a
Really?
show, but first it was a show. Yeah. So what they did was they were making a show about Armor Wars, which is a primarily Tony Stark storyline in the comics. They were doing something in the show, but then they realized no, Tony Stark suits or Iron Man suits are way expensive to do on a show budget. So they said that we'll do a movie with Rhodey be leading the movie, and now they're saying they're scrapping the project altogether. I don't know if it's true or if
They
it's
even
speculation.
talks that they are gonna tax write off Ironheart
Yeah,
because
so
the trailer for Ironheart was shown to people at what does Disney do, the special event?
D23,
Yeah,
D20.
at there people saw the trailer for that show in 2022. It's 2024 now, and there's no news about that show. So people are saying even that they are
yeah.
canceling, and only
So
David
the
Zaslav gets all
whole
the
thing
heat.
that I wanted to convey was like, if trying things in a new way didn't work for them, and they're trying to go towards characters that people know and like and love and want to go to watch, like Deadpool and Wolverine is something everybody can bank on, right? Even if it doesn't cross $1 billion, it will probably go until 800 or something. So that's my whole point. Like, it's fine. They should try something which is safer bet, not in the terms of just characters which are known to people or bringing back Iron Man or something like that. But they should avoid the characters or storylines or the tricks that they did, but people didn't appreciate it. So that's what they're doing. They're not doing something out of the ordinary. They're just saying, okay, we'll listen to the audience. That's all.
One thing I want to talk about the woke culture thing, right? The problem is, what? These creators and actors, in the interviews, they put it like that. Oh, because the film was woke or it had woke scenes or, all that stuff. That's why people didn't like it. That's not the right. You didn't make like a good film. Like I think Marvel's actor, right, who plays Monica Rambeau, she said some interview that people didn't give the film a chance and this and that. I think the film is shit. Have you seen the writing of the film? It's horrible.
I
You
mean,
cannot call this a Bollywood blockbuster kind of story. It's nonsense, And you cannot say that people didn't give us chance and because it's a female led film, no one showed up. Only the men can watch films, and that is so stupid bullshit. You didn't make a good film.
Wakanda Forever was technically it checks all the boxes of woke, right? Matlab on the surface, that's what I'm saying, right?
But it was
But
still a good movie.
I'm saying that only, right? But it is a good story. It has a good story. So nobody cares about. See, every character has to earn their due through a series of challenges. Now, the conflicts these films are presenting compared to the earlier phases of the MCU, they are so trivial. That's why the audience isn't really feeling the adrenaline rush and the sense of victory that these characters used to feel over certain conflicts,
I
right?
want to bring you one more thing. Remember, I think few months ago only, maybe last year, this Natalie Portman, she made a statement that she introduced strong female characters in Hollywood with her Hunger Games series and all.
Wait, what? Natalie Portman in Hunger Games?
That's
Was it
Jennifer
Natalie Portman
Lawrence.
or was it? Who was it?
Jennifer
Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Lawrence.
He was saying Natalie Portman. I was about to
Yeah,
do.
sorry, Jennifer Lawrence. And then people called her out about the fact that we have always had strong female characters before her, which includes Lara Croft and movies like Aliens and all that, with Angelina Jolie and etc. And I think that's the whole point. Like we have always had these strong female characters, if that is the reason why we are having these all movies, but they were never like the selling point of it, and that's why we don't remember them as those woke movies, if we can call them in front of Nolan.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but that's what is happening right now. When now they're making those strong female characters, that's the center of it. That's the selling point of it. They want people to think that, see, since we are making such movies, the entire left side of the world should come and watch those movies and support them. But it was never like we have not made those movies in the past. But again, the whole selling point or the heart of the movie was not that. We want to make it as a female led movie
No,
or
but
a
there is a
specific.
I mean,
opposite view also, right? Because the right wing people who say that that because they try to be woke and now they are not working out. We won, that kind of a thing.
But you know the
Well, no.
joke. You know the
See,
joke in all this.
there is always a time and place for everything, right? Not every movie can be a message sending art piece, right? Every movies in its core sense are meant to be entertaining. For example, Blade movie, the first draft that they made. Why are you making a Blade movie which in its context it's like a Charlie's Angels movie with strong female led characters, and you are making Blade as a secondary character in his own movie. So there is always a place for woke culture or message that you want to send about women empowerment and everything. Movies are supposed to be like entertaining. Blade is never going to work as a Charlie's Angels movie, right? With three female characters leading and Blade being just a secondary character.
the strong.
Charlie's Angels only didn't work in 2015 or 2016.
I mean, the strong independent woman has become an archetype in cinema. Like पहले भी हमारे पास we had strong independent women, like Sahil was saying, right? We did have from the time of Marilyn Monroe, she played strong characters. We have had
I'm ready to talk about even the action films also. Like she was
that,
like uh,
like Mr.
Jennifer
and
Lawrence was
Mrs.
before
Smith.
action movies. They were only like she started making movies, Hunger Games, and that's why she introduced action heroes. But action heroes have been a genre which has seen a lot of good female characters.
Yeah, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith में Angelina Jolie जो थी,
Yeah, yeah, Salt, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Lara Croft,
Kill Bill, dude.
So
Kill Bill is an amazing movie series.
Exactly.
Kill Bill, Resident Evil, all these kind of movies,
And these
they
are
have
from
been,
male directors. It's not even like
yeah.
no, we have to wait for a female director to come and make a good female movie. Even male directors have done a good job in it.
let's
Again the biggest example comes from DC itself. I don't know why I keep bringing DCU, but Wonder Woman 1 was an amazing movie about
Yes.
female empowerment by a female director, amazing. But when you try to put
also
that down people's throat by making Wonder Woman 2, you know what happens. You saw what happened, right? You can't just push everything down people's throat in the name of empowerment. People will like when it's organic. People will like it when it's natural, when it's inspiring.
I've been saying this from the beginning only. They force it. They force it. When it doesn't feel forced, the movies are actually good every time. But they always force it, and then they make it too obvious, and that's when you get pulled out of the movie.
I mean, the character is so archetypical. You can replace the character with any other archetype में जो character आपने देखा है in any other film, and the film wouldn't change. Like in Wakanda Forever, it was Shuri's movie through and through. Like I cannot see anyone else as the protagonist of that movie, and that's the problem which Marvel faces nowadays: interchangeable protagonists.
And I believe another reason why maybe Black Panther worked, even Guardians 4, 3 worked for everyone other than Nolan, is because I think we still had some connection with those actors because they have been built under those old MCU banners, right? So we were anyway very sold out on those characters being how they are. And all the issues we have found, which are strangely for Eternals and Ant-Man and all that, is when just new characters just jumped into the whole scene, and then we were supposed to just accept them how they are. And that's the whole thing, right? Like, hey, this person is let's say it's for representation, so they have to be great. Just accept it.
And
There's
the
no
biggest
build-up.
and the biggest example of this, Sahil, is She-Hulk. They
Yes,
take
yes.
a dump. They take a dump on legacy characters, like when she insults Bruce. When she talks down to Bruce,
For her
saying
trauma,
that your
for his
struggle
trauma.
is nothing. Even I get catcalled. I'm like, bro tried to shoot himself. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty great conflict. But
Yeah.
Interestingly, I
Same
think
thing with Echo. Same thing with Echo. I realized something while watching it, and I watched it pretty late after a lot of time passed. I watched it, and I was like, why are we even focusing on a character who is shitty from the get-go? Not shitty as a character or a writing perspective, but from her story itself, from just as a child, she was kicking that man when he was down. And from that, she kills people, she does horrible things, but we are supposed to feel a connection with her. We are, forced to watch her grow into something which is very inorganic. You can't just expect people to like someone like that character and go through with her journey of achieving superpowers and everything. That character on paper and in reality is unlikable end to end. Like you can't,
and they don't even go there.
connect with that character.
At the last episode, they turn her into a hero.
And it was very fake. Like you could see that she's not a hero. She doesn't even care about her cousin, dude. When they get kidnapped, she doesn't even care about her family. And we are supposed to care about a character like that. We have been raised on characters like Iron Man, Captain America, whose story we are through and through about. We know what their motivations are and everything. And here is a character who kicks people when she's a child, and who is a killer, and you are supposed to feel something for her. I'm like, this show doesn't even make sense why they put out. If they would have given her powers without giving her this show and said that okay, she got her power somehow in a flashback or something, that would have been enough for her to be an anti-hero or something like that in the future, in Daredevil or in any future project that they put out. But again, you're just putting your own vision down everyone's throat, because these directors and everybody, they know that they are only gonna make one or two shows for MCU, right? They are not there for the whole vision or anything like
You know,
that.
coming
But
to that, I actually saw someone made a quick reel edit of all these Secret Invasion people who made Secret Invasion, She-Hulk, and all of these people in interviews saying that we didn't look at the comics, or we didn't go through them, or we changed things
I
because we
saw it
think
too.
we like they kind of everyone in the interview saying that
Yeah.
we didn't follow the comics or change things because we feel it's better, like all these things. I think She-Hulk creators said that I don't like the comics, something like that. So I think that that gives you that, like, who are you hiring for making these projects?
And
It, it,
this comes from a very egoistic place. This place where an artist thinks they are the ones who know everything.
We
You
know
know,
better.
we know better. मतलब 60
And
साल से
I'm
तो ये
not
लोग
in favor of saying that, oh, you have to make the character same as the comic, you cannot change anything, you can do anything. If you're doing something, do something constructive, like which it's adding, like Thanos, right? Like in the comics his motivation is different, but what you made it in the films, it makes so much sense, and it actually constructive, it add more to the character, you know that's what I think. I don't know what DC will do if they bring this guy, what's his name, Darkseid,
Lobo? Oh,
because
Dark Side.
his story, even in animation, like what is this anti-life matter, I don't care, like I don't get that character as a villain. It's just typical, he's a bad guy, evil guy. So I wish, when the dark side comes into a live action thing, there is a better motivation behind what he does and what anti-life, whatever he believes in.
this is again very good point. If you have watched Young Justice, the dark side in that is a background player, and he's manipulating things on a level that you can't even imagine. And we saw dark side who just out of his own ego jumps out of a ship, tries to fight random soldiers, and just loses to an axe and just goes away and forgets where he was for the most important thing in his life. And I'm gonna
No,
say something very controversial here. That is why
that was Steppenwolf, right?
no, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
he said it.
oh.
Harneet said that name.
So I was just gonna come to that point. Like, it is a very controversial opinion on my part, but I didn't like the vision of all the Zack Snyder's movies. What he did with the characters and everything, it was not related to what DC is about in the comics and even in animation movies, which are awesome. Like, nobody just got connected to those characters. People got attracted to his vision, some of them, and the fandom was huge. I agree to that. You like somebody's vision
He
about a
made it edgy,
cinematic
right?
universe. See, edgy is not a right word. He just made everybody on a single sheet of paper. Like, there was no difference between Batman and Superman to a point where they both wore a black suit in a Justice League, a panorama shoot of all the Justice League characters together, and you see them wearing black together, which is just a reminder that even on paper, those both of those characters are literally the same. Like, from the first movie and from Batman versus Superman, I couldn't even tell them apart, even if I was not a comic book fan, or even if I was not a superhero fan. Like, he made everyone just on the same blueprint, as we say. Like, everybody was Superman is not like supposed to be like that. Batman is not supposed to kill people, and they are
No,
just both doing the same thing.
Zack Snyder actually spoke about the Batman killing part. Like, he wanted to put Batman in a position where he had to kill and then show the struggle or something like that. He explained it
See,
in the
Yeah,
Joker
okay, okay, okay,
podcast.
okay, wait. That statement, right? When he made it, I get it. I get his idea, but he didn't do it. He's
yeah.
saying that
See, the
I'll put
point is,
Batman in a situation where he has to kill, But he just puts him in the situation, he kills and moves on. There's no, he's not tackling the fact that he had to kill. He's not investing his time and his storyline showing what he's going through because he killed someone.
But
That statement
that
is
was
so
the issue,
egoistic.
right? No, they cut a lot of stuff out of Batman versus Superman,
No,
right?
Yeah, dude, he only says director's cut is my cut. Is there
Yeah.
anything like that in that?
Rohit, this highlights Rohit's point very well that all these
Harneet, you're too far
creators
from the
who are-
mic.
Hello.
Yeah.
So this highlights Rohit's point very well that these creators get to a point where this is just about their own ego and their own pride that what I am doing is all correct, and the legacy of 100 years of these characters is just somebody else is going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So that's the whole point, right?
I feel though Snyder's like was too obsessed with Dark Knight Returns, and he just made everything in that tone only.
You just demystified Snyder.
He keeps bringing that up only. He's like, Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Returns. He's like, his goal when he said it in the interview. So his goal when he became a director was to do 300 and to do Dark Knight Returns.
And Watchmen, I think.
Yeah, and he's like, even though he did Batman versus Superman, which was somewhat like Dark Knight Returns, it still isn't like actually Dark Knight Returns, and he still wants to do that.
Why Dark Knight Returns comic was popular at that time was people were too bored with the mainstream Superman, Batman, and all the superhero because that was that was all that was going on, right? People needed a change, and you are at a point in DC or in comic book because where people have not got a proper Superman representation after Christopher Reeve, and you are just going to do Dark Knight Returns at that point of time, and which is not going to make sense, right? People are waiting for a proper representation of Superman after that legendary portrayal by Christopher Reeve, and you are doing this. So those, as I said, there is always a place and time for these things, or for edgy movies, for non-mainstream content.
See,
Like
boys,
Brightburn, right?
boys works because we got a 10 years of superhero genre.
Yeah,
Boys just prove
Brightburn,
that.
dude. Brightburn. People loved Brightburn because it was edgy, not just for the sake of it. It was edgy to a point where you would realize that, okay, this is evil Superman. It's not like a edgy Superman. So that's the whole vibe. You can't just be in the middle of it. Okay, he's a Superman with red suit, but he's also very dark and broody, and he doesn't like the human race and all that stuff.
We had Mr. Coconuts in the chat. So he says, I think they are waiting for things to settle down. Externals, I think he meant Eternals, might have a hard time. Yet the rumor did say Ant-Man 4 and Captain Marvel 3 weren't on the production calendar, still be made. Captain Marvel made $1 billion and the strike hurt the Marvels, yet made its money back streaming, which was a huge hit. How did it make money back? Disney only owns the film, so it's not like they got money for to stream, right? So I don't get that, but and there's also
People are paying to watch it. People are paying.
And it's free on Disney Plus. Free as in if you have Disney Plus, you can watch it.
Pay to watch what?
That's the whole point. When a new movie is released on a platform, if new subscribers, subscribe to your service after uploading that movie on your platform, that is how they.
I'll be really surprised if people got Disney Plus just to watch Marvels.
It doesn't have to coincide. It just have to coincide with the time that they put that movie up, and after that, for a few days, if subscriber count increases, they say that for that movie it increase. That's the whole equation how that works.
Okay. Saganation says Marvel Studios head of streaming said today there was a mandate to create as much as we could for Disney Plus as quickly as we could. Then there was a shift. We have to start spreading our release dates. Okay, so that I think I want to bring to what really happened. I think there was a streaming bubble that everyone can have their own streaming platform, and because of pandemic it just got boosted. Oh yes, it's the right thing. Everyone came up with a platform, and now everyone's in depth. Nothing is working out. Only the big players like Netflix, Amazon, and
even Netflix is losing. Dude,
Netflix is losing money since its inception, dude. But they are playing the bigger game, no? They're still
Yeah.
the market leaders. They are in 250
Correct.
countries. Disney Plus, I don't know. Amazon will work, but all these other, HBO
So
Max
Others,
and
just
I think some
Peacock
others
and
another
this and
others
that, they're
also
gonna
there.
die.
another business anecdote coming from me is like what is happening with Disney Plus in India now, if you guys are aware.
Yeah,
So Geo and Disney have
merger.
partnered, right? So basically Disney India have merged with Geo for a streaming platform. They are not just going to combine all the OTT platforms into one. There will
It's not
still be a
Disney
Disney
India.
Plus.
It's Star.
So it's Disney will still be here. Disney Hotstar will still be here, and Geo will still be here. The content might overlap between the two, but what they have
No, no,
done is
no.
they have
They are gonna
no
merge
no
together in single app. Yes.
no. So they have what they have done is they have undervalued Disney's value in India. So what Disney is valued at in the world and what Disney was valued in India, they have undervalued that and combined with Geo being the major partner and Disney being the minor partner in the deal. And they are going to combine their platforms with Geo movies still good doing all the things it was doing with Indian content and everything.
I read something totally different. They
What did
are
you read?
they're gonna merge together into a single entity. The partners are Geo has 21%. Disney comes under Star, so Star has 30 something percent, and Vacom 18 has 48%, and also Vacom 18 has a Reliance share also. So Reliance is part of Vacom 18 also. So
So
these are the
I'll send you
three.
the article. I'll send you the article. The press note that they released was Disney, India, and Geo.
But
That's the
whatever.
whole
Okay,
partnership
let's not
that
get
was
into
going on,
that. But
and they
it's
are not
like,
combining the apps. They are not going to combine Disney Hotstar with Geo. So
Okay.
there will still be two apps.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think they will. There's no point of having two different.
I
Because
mean,
Geo is basically a
I
freemium
mean,
thing. Freemium is like a lot of content is free, and for the major part of it, you have to pay. On Geo, you can watch a lot of stuff for free. But on Disney Hotstar, it's not like that. You have to buy Disney Hotstar in order to see anything on that. So both are different models.
Okay.
I think Hotstar isn't exclusively in India also, because when I was in Thailand, I kept seeing advertisements for Disney Plus Hotstar there also.
Yeah, so Disney Plus Hotstar in Asia, it's Disney Plus Hotstar. So
Hmm.
South Asian countries, everywhere it plays under Disney Plus Hotstar. But yeah, nice way of putting in that you went to Thailand. Anyways,
I don't, I went just like totally unrelated, but I'm saying this might be one of the reasons why Netflix is still successful. When I went from here to there, I got logged out of all my streaming services except Netflix. Netflix is the only one that kept me logged in, and then I couldn't log into any of the other ones because I didn't have my my SIM card, and all of them require OTP.
wow. Okay, that's
So
interesting. Interesting.
Netflix is that's why Netflix is successful.
But coming to the main news that, so my only thing is that it makes sense. It was supposed to happen. If you're making something, it's not gonna work. Of course, you're gonna not gonna make it. You'll be stupid to make more of it.
But they
But
did.
the
Plus,
point
plus,
of,
there are two different things. Except for Armor Wars and Ironheart, they did not outright announce anything that they cancelled.
yeah,
They just said that we are
see,
not working on
Marvel
projects
is
that were not working.
right now. Even Marvel has not said. It's all these insider
Yeah.
reports that are coming, and Marvel is
And
not
basically,
someone who's gonna announce.
what happened was, it was a Disney level meeting from Bob Iger with his
Stakeholder
shareholders,
meeting,
which
yeah.
are, yeah, they were trying to take over Disney, and he was like, we are going to cancel a lot of stuff, not just in Marvel, but in Star Wars universe
Even
and
yeah,
other things.
Disney
There
also. Disney movies are getting cancelled.
Disney movies, animated movie also. Their Mufasa movie was coming out, and they're canceling the Mufasa movie as well. So a lot of stuff is getting cancelled, and it's not cancelled as we have previously experienced, right? It's just that we are not going to put our focus on these things that we were initially going to. We are
We're
going to
not gonna
put our
get
focus
any
on
future
something
stuff
else.
with them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ironheart, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Batgirl situation might happen with that. I don't know. But I don't think Marvel will do it. They will just release it on Hotstar if they like. It doesn't cost them that much of money, right? So Armor Wars, I am pretty, disheartened that we'll not get to see Armor Wars if it comes true. But this is a good decision. If you are not sure about things that are not going to work, you'll not even put effort into that, or put research into that, or put writing pre-production stuff into that also. So you are just moving away from that.
I want to ask all of you, what are your favorite characters after Endgame? After Endgame, Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 5, these new characters. We have got so many new characters. What are the
Characters or like the actors who are playing them? I mean, like,
not
it's
actors, not characters. The characters which have been introduced in the MCU, post Endgame. With there have been so many. There's a rush of them.
introduction.
TV,
Introduction.
movies everywhere. What are your top? Like, can you even think of them?
Yeah, I can think of it. Like if I were to talk about like someone who was introduced after like completely, it has to be Shang-Chi.
Oh my god, I even Shang-Chi was not in my head. There were like rumors that Shang-Chi may not get another chance.
You know my
No, but
favorite character
What?
after Endgame? Karun.
I?
who's that?
Kingo's valet
Oh,
from Eternals.
okay. Deep cut, deep cut.
Oh,
Reminds me of Nuna.
I have no idea why he says that, but it was a deep cut. I think the first name in my head comes is Kamala Khan. I think that's the one character which we got a really good origin story kind of build up.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like Iman Velani's Captain Marvel is one of the best things that is
Miss Marvel.
currently active in the MCU. And obviously, Spider-Man was way before things ended. But yeah, Spider-Man currently going to the major attention, in next phases. So yes, I'm excited for Spider-Man and Iman Velani's characters.
But nothing else. Like the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, how you remember the first phase 2, phase 3, like 3 phases, the characters were introduced, were instilled in our memory. Like if you ask me to name them, I'll name them. But all these new characters, like even Ironheart, how much do we get to know the character from that film?
I want to erase Ironheart from my memory, dude. I don't like that character at all on any level. Nothing was
Like
good about
what
that
did that
character.
movie gave you? What other film came out? America Chavez. What did you get to know about her that stands out, and you think about, oh, that's a cool character I want to see again? What, every film, if you see every film, even I would say for Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, it's been such a long time. Like maybe the actress did a good job when it was airing, but I don't care. I don't know when she'll show up. Did I learn something new and interesting?
I
There's
did
something
like her. I did like her initially. I don't know. She was a very fresh character, to be honest. And I don't think so. They were even playing on that whole representation kind of thing at that time.
Yeah.
Like not that much on the face and all that. I think I'm okay with that much amount of representation thing. But I don't know. Eventually, like yes, what Nona is saying. I mean, also this like the elongation of all the projects, right? Like you don't even know for 2-3 years whether they will ever come back or not.
Yeah.
And then I did get to see Marvels in the hall, and I was obviously she does come up for a brief moment in the post credit scene. So that's still okay. Like, okay, I know she's still active in the whole scene, but why was she where was she for 2 years? Is still a question for me. And then as like even when I mentioned Shang-Chi and Nona was like, I don't even remember him. That is also another issue. Like we have not heard about Shang-Chi at all
Shang-Chi came in
since
2021, remember?
sorry.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. I think September 1st week, I guess, if I remember, because I remember I watched it twice
It'll
back to
be
back
three
days. I love that
years.
movie. Yeah,
The,
it's
I
crazy.
mentioned this earlier, right? I was like, they've left a lot of open ends, like loose ends in phase 5.
And that
Like
too
everything
in
is open ended.
every other direction. They're not even in the same direction that they were.
Remember the
And that is why
suggestion
I
I
asked
came up
Mona.
with?
No.
Yeah.
I was like, they could just do one post credit scene, like Doom comes and like they all of Doom trying different things to take over the world. Like it was Doom all along.
That's why I've been asking Nona, the actor or the character, because I think the only reason I personally do remember Shang-Chi, apart from the fact that I like the movie, is also because I saw the actor in many movies
Yeah.
since then. So I was still I know him from many movies. I'm not seeing Kamala Khan, for example, in many movies as much as
Yeah, she's
Shang-Chi's
not
actor.
She's a new
actress. She's not an
actress.
actress that.
Yeah,
I know. But the
she's
point
not a
is,
new
I'm not
actress.
seeing her anyway. It's not even if
Mm.
even if the in the past we were getting enough MC projects, but we were also seeing those actors in other movies also. So you they were still
Dude,
famous actors and all that.
she's writing a comic on Miss Marvel. Like co-writing it with the creator of Miss Marvel. You saw that?
Again, I feel she is a nerd, and they saw that a nerd is a good actor also, but that not might be always
Fits
the
the role.
case.
Fits the role basically.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know. I have second doubts after Miss Marvel. Yeah,
That's
Miss
The
Marvel.
fine. Like
Marvels.
everyone doesn't need to be like do different films and go on and win an Oscar. You know, but
No.
she can
I'm not.
surprise.
I'm not
Whatever.
talking about Oscar. I feel they could have been a better actor than her. I think she got the role only because she's not. She's a nerd. She
Hmm.
should have been a good.
This I think I disagree with, because I think her character was the only good thing about that movie. The only
No,
thing that I liked
I
about that movie
I
was her
I
character.
personally liked her the most in the movie. Definitely, I genuinely like the movie more than the average people. Miss Marvel, but I still feel I don't think so. I will get to see more of her, anything more from her than what I've already seen from the two projects she has been. That's what I'm worried about. I think that's something which has also been my criticism from Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think he has ended up doing the same thing in all the movies. I'm not talking about the about his Avengers movies, in which I think he has still done some new things. But in the trilogy, it has always been the same kind of how do I say same kind of acting. I mean, he has just I think I even in
Have
No
you
Way
have
Home.
you seen his other films, other
Yes,
performances?
I have seen them. Yeah,
Like
he's so below average. He's below average in
You know,
those films.
it's like double-edged sword, because Ryan Reynolds in every movie is just Ryan Reynolds playing himself,
But that
and
works for
we all love
Deadpool.
it.
That works for
and
Deadpool.
Deadpool, he's just R-rated.
Yes. But I think that still works for Deadpool, but I don't think so. Spider-Man is like a very unidimensional character and all that, which
Plus,
Tom Holland
plus,
even
plus, Sahil's point is very valid, because now the Marvel in their strategy have shifted to legacy characters coming for Secret Wars. It will start from Deadpool and Wolverine. People will
yeah,
start focusing more on the characters that they have already seen in previous movies, and they
yeah,
will expect them to come in the future movies. Fantastic Four movies coming, then there will
yeah.
be Doctor Doom, then we'll have probably Doctor Strange in next movie. Then people want Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Hugh Jackman to come for Secret
Toby is definitely
Wars.
coming.
You
Toby is
know,
definitely coming.
everybody is coming. So all the focus have shifted from these new characters towards the legacy characters already for the future, for the near and the far future. And
But
after
even
Secret Wars, what is going to happen, we don't know. If the focus will shift back to Kamala Khan, or her young Avengers movie, if that going to happen, or they're gonna soft reboot and say that Fantastic Four and X-Men were already on Earth, and then focus on X-Men characters and everything. So that Sahil point is valid, because whatever connection we have built with one or two characters that you talked about, it might not go anywhere in the near future.
Hmm.
And that's why
Okay.
I'm afraid. If they're not gonna give you anything else, why are we? And that's why even if a new movie comes today and it's good, you are still scared about the fact that having like making a connection with them might not be fruitful.
Saiga Nation named 3: Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Yelena to an extent. Yelena is an interesting character because it's like a origin of Black Widow in a sense where
Also,
she
the
is kind
actor,
of,
bro.
yeah,
No,
the
Actor is
no.
actress is
famous.
amazing, but
That's why.
Moon
even the
Knight, I
character is
forgot.
interesting. Yeah,
I
Moon
actually
Knight.
forgot Moon Knight.
It should be forgotten,
She's
bro.
only
Like that
Despite
phase,
the amazing acting, and
yeah.
Sahil's point of him acting as two different characters in the same show, and here he's talking about Tom Holland portraying Spider-Man as the same character in 3 movies, and here
But
we
I would
have
say that's
like
actually
Oscar
what is
Isaac.
needed, right? Like he needs to play that character similarly because it's the same
Yeah,
character.
I agree.
No, but there's no both. That's my issue. I
Dude,
mean,
I
if you
felt
look at
in
Iron
No Way
Man,
Home, he like the emotions they were. He
A
did a
lot of
really good
growth.
job.
I see,
Yeah.
again, he's crying. I understand that, but it still feels it's the same act. There is no growth of 6, 7 movies and Endgame
Dude,
happening to him.
he was going to kill Green Goblin in that movie if Toby has
Yes,
not
I know the
reached.
whole story. I understand. I understand that when the story kicks in, he is able to do that. But when the story is not kicking, I don't feel anything new about him. I mean, honestly speaking, what happened to him in Far From Home, when like how he was against what was the guy's name?
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
I was
Okay,
gonna say
at that time
Mephisto.
he was there to kill him. Also. He was there to kill him also as a
You
It
know,
was
No.
there
same.
is there was this line from a video that I was watching where he was comparing how Captain America used to be a government soldier, and
Yeah.
Iron Man was somebody who didn't trust the government. And there was a line from the first Avengers movie where Steve Rogers said that if there was somebody lying on the bomb, what will you do? You will not lay your life. And Iron Man says, I'll just cut the wire, and that kind of banter.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we go to Civil War, where Iron Man is turned into who trusts the government, and Steve Rogers is like, no, I don't trust the government, and I need to do what I want to do. That is the
But
kind of full circle growth.
But they are at that level, no? Spider-Man just is in high
Yeah,
school, man. Let's give
Yes,
him
yeah, yeah.
another
No, no,
trilogy.
I'm not
the
saying.
long-term
See,
movie is there.
that is what I'm saying. Like that is the kind of growth you get over 10 years, 12 years. You can't get
Yeah.
that kind of growth in a high school movie. Like all these 3 movies were in high school, in his high school years.
See
We
I
can't
how
understand
expect
that.
that kind of growth.
how I will
He
put
went through a lot. He went through a lot, right?
Also, no,
When
but
you say high school, you were talking about an average high school. He was not having an average high school life. He was not having that.
no, but he has Spider-Man is supposed to be like a goofy, awkward kid, and who has powers and responsibility. He has to,
Again, you are comparing it with comics and cartoons where it might be like for a very short storyline. But what we have seen for what Tom Holland has been through, what Spider-Man has been through, like, let's talk about
no,
just
dude.
that.
but
But
that's
even
his
in the
character, right?
comics, also, Spider-Man goes through a lot of shit, but he still stays positive. Like that's his
Oh, no,
thing.
no,
More
I'm
than
not
anyone.
talking.
He
I am
goes
not
through shit more than anyone in the
I'm
comics.
not talking about why is he still goofy. I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that as Tom Holland as an actor, I don't think so. Has been able to pull that character as much as maybe anyone else we have seen do that. At least if I talk about Tobey Maguire, if I talk
See
about Andrew
again,
Garfield,
you are taking example of Toby who goes through school and then he gets jobs and his marriage gets affected, and like you're comparing to that kind of change in
no.
life for
Again,
him to perform, right?
in that case, I can say that then what about Tom Holland has also gone to space and has fought aliens, has fought
But
people
he's still a kid,
with
no? He still
Yeah,
has that
right.
innocence.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man went from high
No,
school
I am saying
to
I am saying
college.
I am saying that you are okay to come to talk about whether his age has grown up. You are okay with that growth, but you're not okay with the
Dude,
experience.
if
Why?
I go to space, this and that happens, and Aunt May dies within 3 years of my life of growing up.
Yeah.
How
Good
how
for
much
you.
will I
And you are
change?
saying
I'll
you will
still
not
have
change.
that innocence
Why
in
would
me,
you
no?
not change? Why would you
No, no,
not?
no,
See,
no.
that is
Nah,
the
nah, nah, I
question.
disagree with you, dude. Because that's his characteristic,
No,
right?
no,
He
no, no.
stays positive. He stays out of every, like he
I'm not
lost
agreeing.
everyone.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
The whole
and
I'm
world
not
forgot
agreeing.
him. The whole world forgot him. That's the responsibility he has to
and
take
to the
up.
extent and the to the extent that we are talking about, if you compare him with the first appearance in Civil
Again,
War,
not
how
talking about
kiddish
the
he was,
movie. I
and to
am
the
okay.
towards the end of the third movie,
Honestly speaking, he has not
how
even made good jokes. If you actually want to talk about goofiness, tell me a good Spider-Man joke
He's
in
not
Tom Holland
supposed to
movies.
make jokes.
I
He's
am
not trying
saying,
to make jokes and crack jokes.
tell
He's
me a
just
goofy
being,
moment at least.
No, no,
dude,
dude.
the whole
That's who
fight
Spider-Man is.
sequence.
Spider-Man cracks jokes.
Yeah, but in the costume, no.
Spider-Man,
The
Yeah,
whole
what
yeah,
Civil
has
War
yeah.
Tom Holland
fight
Spider-Man made
sequence.
joke? Tell me
The
one
the
Spider-Man good joke.
hand, it's vibranium. Oh, you forgot this. Mr. Stark, are you?
What did I ask? What did I ask?
Dude, there's so many
The
iconic
trilogy.
moments.
Trilogy does not have jokes.
It
I mean,
does.
The Russo
I
brother
mean,
movies have.
I mean, hey, you guys aren't the Avengers.
Wow, brilliant joke.
Eh?
Compare
I mean,
that with Vibranium joke. The Russo brother movies have done
Dude,
a better job
the for
than
Homecoming has
Spider-Man.
a scene where he like goes to swing and there's no building and all, it's just trees and he's just running. Isn't that a good joke? It's not coming from him, but it's a visually joke, no?
Is it a Spider-Man level joke?
But he's still
so, but
he
that's
still
not
becoming
I
that
Toby
think
way.
Maguire. That's
I
not
wait,
Tom
wait, wait,
Holland's
wait, wait,
fault.
wait, wait, wait. I think we are putting a lot of time and effort into this one topic about Spider-Man and Tom Holland, in spite of talking
Dude, 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 dude,
about
dude,
Marvel as a whole.
dude. Spider-Man is Marvel, man.
No,
If he is
we
not
have
good,
just
I don't
spent a
think so
lot.
any of the Marvel MCU can be good. If he is not good.
See what? See another point because of Spider-Man is like there are two studios trying to pull strings in what they want to do. Example about his fourth movie, Sony wants another multiversal movie with Toby and Andrew coming back. Marvel wants a down to earth, grounded Spider-Man movie.
Street
And
level.
in that, in that struggle, where his essence goes, they have to decide that, and that
No,
affects a
no,
lot.
Harneet, I'll not even take that excuse. I think with that they did a good job with the three films.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think Spider-Man's growth has been there for the extent that he has been
See,
present in the MCU.
I will
Yeah.
compare, what Spider-Man is to a sitcom. In sitcom, right, writing, you cannot have drastic changes to your characters every episode because he's learning something new. Because otherwise, your character arcs will be over. If you take Friends, Chandler, is afraid of commitments.
Don't take
He
example of
learns
Friends.
new
You know
things, but
what story?
over the
I
seasons, over the whole show, he still has
I'll
that
take an
issues.
example of Captain
I
America. I'll
feel
take the
I
example of Captain America. First Avengers movie, there is a joke about him understanding the reference. I understood that reference. He's fresh out of ice after being just a 25-year-old man. He sacrificed himself, but he's still a 25-year-old man, right? He went into ice for 70 years, comes
That's
out,
trauma,
he's
man.
understanding the world, but he still is like, I understood that reference. And it's a good joke, right? But after 10 years in the MCU, then we see a growth where he's always just serious, and because the movies were serious, there were no moments where he could make that kind of jokes. And that growth has become a part of his life in MCU over the time period of 10, 12, 15 years. And he has been a kid, and his movies were back to back. There was not a lot of break of 5, 6 years
yeah.
between his movies, right? So he has been dealing with stuff right after one after the other. And he's still a kid, he's still in the high school. So how can we expect the kind of growth Captain America went from him to compare to Spider-Man, right?
I feel
That's why I'm
there'll be a drastic character growth now because now everyone has forgotten him and now he's going to college. So now there'll be an actual change in his character.
I think now we'll explore that frustration. Now he's becoming, has to be live alone. He'll have the
Yeah.
problems we have seen with Toby Maguire. I think now he'll go through that changes. But I think whatever
Yeah.
we have seen,
That
because
that
dude, he's supposed
so
to be a kid we all relate to. You know,
no, so that's what everyone's saying, right? Like the MCU Spider-Man didn't go through any like normal person struggles that Spider-Man is supposed to go through. He went through superhero level struggles, but he
and
didn't go
that's my
through
argument here because he
regular
has
human
since
struggles.
that why are we okay that if somebody goes through human level struggles, and that should be the only reason why somebody has growth. But if somebody has the superhero hero level of struggles, which which Iron Man had to go through, and we saw his struggle going through. He has been an adult the entire time, right? And he has been an industrialist the entire time.
No,
But
no,
we
but
No,
saw
no,
Iron
no.
Man. One was
no, but
Dude,
but
no,
but
no, you're
but
getting
but
it
but
wrong.
Iron Man superhero level struggles affected him personally. Spider-Man
so
didn't
why
go
did
through any big struggles that affected him
happen for
personally.
Spider-Man
And
also? He has lost his parents. He's lost his Aunt May also.
no, no,
He
that's
has
what he lost his Aunt May
he
now.
lost Tony Stark. He
So
lost
so
Tony Stark
so
in part two. He lost Tony Stark.
yeah, and that was, he did go through that struggle. He did go through some changes, right? That's how he went from a happy-go-lucky kid to someone willing to kill Mysterio.
But why has
And
Tom Holland failed to portray that? Is my question.
no,
I'm
but
not
Dude,
he
again. I'm
do
not
did
you
talking
he
think
about.
do
did
you think the
portray
guy
it.
you saw in Civil War and the guy we saw at the end of No Way Home are the same? Like he's just doing the same thing?
No,
He's
that's
not.
what
No way,
He's
dude.
not. I'm talking
exactly.
about the guy we saw in Far From Home. Sorry, not
Yeah.
Far From Home. The Homecoming and the guy in No Way Home. They are very similar.
Because he's the same guy, no?
What do you
No,
mean? It's been 7 years. How is he the same
But
guy?
are
No,
7 years in
he
our this
Infinity War.
no?
yeah,
Wait, wait.
7 years in our time. He was gone for
No,
5.
no,
So
no,
it's
no.
3 years.
No,
It's
I'm
2
talking
years
about
for him.
years. How 2 years?
You know
Infinity War
what? You know
happened.
what? Sile. I think we are
It
just
happened. Infinity War
digressing.
happened. It
Let's
happened. Far From Home happened.
let's have the
Give me at least
discussion.
for all of
Let's
them.
have the discussion just on this. I think we are digressing right now from our main topic. I just wanted to take a few quick chats. Guardians of the Galaxy was a mega risk. A to Z list characters based with a very niche director, James Gunn giving him a $20 million. That's what I'm saying. We'll miss something like that because now they are saying we're gonna not take risk at all. That's what I think we are gonna.
Wait, when did they say they're not going to take risks? They just said
No,
they're
that's
not.
the point. That's the statement.
They
We'll only focus on the guaranteed hits. That means what they're gonna make Avenger films. They're gonna make big, Spider-Man films because that's guaranteed. They'll make money.
But the risks they are talking about are the stuff which they were trying to do all this time, trying to pander to the woke audience and try to
That was
get
not a
that.
risk.
See, no.
See,
That
Guardians
that's
was
what they
not a
were.
risk in the same
Bob,
sense. Guardians
I
was a different kind of risk where
yeah.
Marvel was at its peak. They wanted to portray a good movie about a band of characters, and they did. It was a good movie with a good script, good actors, good characters. What the risk they tried to take now were totally different.
They were trying to
Awful
pull in a
characters, awful writing, awful
see
CGI. You know that
what they
kind of
were
risk is not worth it.
see what they were trying to do now was they were trying to pull a different group of people only into coming and watching movies. So when they tried to do this, the people who were already watching the movies started not liking the movies and went away. And these people already weren't interested in watching movies. They just want to sit on Twitter and tuck, 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 tuck. So they trying to pull these people in. They didn't get these people, and these people didn't come anyway. So they lost both sides. That was the risk.
People are shouting at Batman 2 way too much when Marvel takes years to develop and even release first movies. Fantastic Four Blade was announced in 2019 2020. Okay. But I also feel one thing about Marvel which I have seen MCU is that the whole multiverse saga I felt didn't work out, and I think one thing we can learn from how Spider Verse has done multiverse, that we don't care, man, if the universes die. What does it even matter to us? There's no emotional stake in the universe dying. What matters to us is what Spider Verse is exploring. You know that the canon event that you have to lose, the point of that. I think the what if story we got of Doctor Strange, that whatever he does, his love dies,
That's a very good
and he's finding
point.
different universes. Like that's
I think
the
this is what even Rohit was trying to say initially, like in his initial comment that there's no personal connection. Like you are not emotionally invested in the story because honestly, even for us also as human beings, I mean, like at a personal level, you would rather want your personal life to be get fixed as soon as possible, way more than the entire world becoming a better place and human beings and all that, global warming and all that. Those definitely we care about those topics, but we want to fix our current problems, which we are actually thinking about every single time, every single day, every single night. And I think that's what I think that's what people also want to come and watch in the movies also.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
can I save my girlfriend? Can I
dude,
save my wife? Can I save my parents?
everything
That's
everywhere
something
all at
way
once.
more.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Even
That's
for
the
that also,
point.
na.
That I want a
But then,
villain in a multiverse saga who thinks that I want the best of my lives from every world.
yes,
That is something, oh, that is interesting. And
yeah,
And in the end, it was just a movie about a mom and her daughter, right?
yeah, that's
yes,
the best part.
Apart from all the shenanigans and all the great CGI and all the great storytelling, it was all about a child feeling not connected to her mother. That's all
Even that
that was about.
dialogue, dude, that, in a world I would have loved to do, laundry and taxes with you.
target access.
That tells you
It's
that
a
what
personal
you,
connection.
in one world, what you think this is horrible and what not worth our time. In another world, in another circumstance, you would have been, even would have loved to just have that. That's the idea, that film gives you. And I think in multiverse, Marvel just, just all the shenanigans and sacred timelines, and they just open the Pandora's box, and now we are nowhere. You don't care about anything.
Now I feel that was probably the biggest reason why Eternals also failed. I think they were so much focused about
See, I've
in
always
that in
said for
that.
Eternals, they should have never come into the present. The film should have ended when in 1500s they part ways. That was the epic
Yes.
moment, and you could have ended the whole story just contained in there,
Yeah.
within them.
Yeah.
Those characters were interesting enough
We also
to,
discuss about whether the Earth would have would have destroyed, and then we realized that this is not our Earth.
yeah,
That
like
was a great idea.
whatever. Just don't connect it to the main MCU. Just have it
Yeah,
separately.
yeah, our timeline basically. Yep.
But yeah, let it be now. uh,
Also, think about it. Loki has been successful because they have been able to do that.
yeah.
We honestly, at the end of the day, we do not care about
See,
the
Loki. If you
temporal loop.
see, Loki doesn't have a antagonist in a sense, right?
It doesn't. Yeah, it does not. It does not. Yes, that is true. I mean, even especially in part two, Kang was never the villain.
Yeah. They assume he's the
Any of the
villain.
Kangs, any of the Kangs,
Yeah.
whichever Kangs we saw, they were none of them were villains.
Rohit is
Especially,
not here, so I'll take this opportunity to say the inevitability of time was the antagonist in that show.
yes.
Nice. Andoga says they should just tone down the comedy and make a serious film. Also invest time in bettering the villains.
Nah,
I'm not against
I'm
comedy and all.
not
I'm
kind of,
like, if it works, it
yeah,
works. But yeah,
yeah.
bettering villains. Yeah, villains are the backbone of your.
It's a very typical DC comment that hey, we like DC. DC does not do that much of comedy, and even Marvel should do that. That's not how it works. Because similarly, how if DC starts doing comedy, it will work like Marvel. It does not happen.
No, I'm not in
Um,
that support.
yeah,
Uh,
comedy is important. Has been a part of. Also, think about the audience. Also, like the Marvel audience wants comedy. At the end of the day, you still have to continue doing comedy. But yes, it has to be good comedy.
yeah. Saganation says, isn't that what WandaVision is about? It was great. Yes, it was great when it talked about grief, when we saw what can grief lead to. But then the way they ended that show,
Yeah, again.
you don't know what she has gone through. Like, really? Worst dialogue in cinema. Uh, V Man says, I don't want to do a lot of homework before I watch a movie. I didn't watch the Marvels because I didn't watch Miss Marvel. Okay. Irrespective of that, the film is not worth, I would say.
Donna is like,
Again, we come to that point, right? TV shows should be a different thing altogether. Say that it's Elseworld. What
I'm
if works
worried,
because of that?
worried for DCU.
I mean, Agents of Shield did it so well. Like they just put in small sprinkles of Easter eggs here and there, a
See,
Yeah.
cameo.
Agents of Shield is like behind the scenes what's happening. If you're interested,
Yeah.
you can watch it. Like behind how
Yeah.
things are working out
See,
for.
what if works because of that? Loki works because of that. Because you don't have to do homework by watching those shows and then come to the movies to watch them.
Yeah.
But WandaVision, you had to watch. Moon Knight, people liked it because it has not led to something where Moon Knight was necessary to be watched.
Yeah, it was just
We have
felt.
watched Moon Knight as a show. That's it.
If you tell me it was a DC show, I'd be like, okay. Because
Yeah.
you cannot tell.
But when you try to connect, no, you have to watch that show. The show becomes a liability at after a point.
The writers did not watch the show WandaVision of like writers of Doctor Strange.
That's so weird.
It's a true story.
Saganation says people also say in caps and uncaps kind of. But look at how much money Snyderverse makes. Wait, what? Snyderverse didn't make
What?
money.
Did they?
That was the whole point. There was a
No,
golden
on
age of comic
HBO
book movies.
Max.
People love Batman, Superman, even shit Transformers movie made money, but then box office fell off. See, Snyder films, even I would say Man of Steel should have made more money considering a Superman movie. It kind of underperformed with the expectations, but it was fine film. It did well. Then Batman and Superman did underperformed. It should have been like Batman and Superman coming together for the first time on cinema, and it should have done $1 billion already. It didn't make money. Then that's Justice League was what all happened. So nothing made money in Snyderverse. That was a big problem. If it had made money, studio wouldn't have interfered, in the vision of his. Andoka says we have the power to fix things,
The
pay for things we
studio,
like.
dude, the studio interfered before Snyderverse even had a chance to make money. They were interfering from the time of Man of Steel.
No, not Man of Steel.
Yeah.
What would they interfere? they started interfere BVS when he was it was supposed to be
That is the biggest.
It was supposed to be Man of Steel 2, and they were like, no, make it add Batman, add Justice League. We want a Justice League movie because Marvel is going fast. We want to catch up.
Yeah.
That's
That
where
is the
things
biggest
started.
testament. That is the biggest testament to the fact that Batman and Superman, two of the biggest characters in comic book history, they were coming together, and just because the story was not up to the mark, it did not perform well.
Yeah.
And you can do anything, and you are thinking that She-Hulk and Miss Marvel that people don't even care about, with bad writing they're going to do well. You're thinking that. How does it even make sense?
But I think the last thing we should talk about is Henry Cavill as Wolverine. What do you guys think?
No. Daniel Radcliffe.
I think it's a wasted opportunity of a good actor if he has signed to come to the MCU. And it's just going to be one cameo and we are not going to see him again.
Let me put it like this. Do you think it will just be a cameo, or do you think he's going to be the MCU's Wolverine in the future?
No, it's just going to be a cameo because this was one of the fan casting way before when
really?
Marvel
I thought Radcliffe was the fan casting. So I thought Radcliffe they'll show just for a moment and then they'll move on.
Radcliffe was there, but it was also fan casting a while back. So I think still it's going to be just a cameo, maybe a 5-minute scene at the top of most, because this movie has already got like more characters than Avengers Endgame. So I don't know what they're going to do. But yeah, if he was coming to the MCU properly, he could have played a lot of better characters already.
Knowing Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, they might put all those cameos in the start of the movie, and Deadpool like, nah, not happening. Change the movie only. And then the rest of the movie will just be Deadpool and Wolverine.
Andoga says Madam Web budget 80 million, collection 97 million. Interesting. But that doesn't include the PR and media cost. So make it 180 million and the collection 97. It's a one-off appearance like John Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness. Also, I think they should whoever they cast as Wolverine should match the height what's in comics. What I've heard is that he's shorter.
Yeah.
So I think this time they should not go for a tall actor.
That's why
that should be the least of our concerns.
No, but I'm saying
height should be the least of our concerns.
No, but I'm still saying
we should just think that the actor should be good, the story should be good first, then we can think something about the height.
I'm sure that will be taken care of, but I think like they should go for more comic accurate stuff. I think that's what Marvel can do right now. But let's see, guys. The future. We talked about the future actually. The last stream we came together was, with Marvel was MCU's back ? With Fantastic Four news and Deadpool and everything. The trailer was out. So let's see. High doesn't care, man. What the fuck? Zack Efron for Wolverine. Let's see. He's become a better actor though. I've heard great stuff about Iron Claw. Haven't seen the film yet. But interesting. Yeah, let's see. Wolverine, Deadpool, a lot of stuff going on with that too. But anything else you guys want to add? But yeah, I'll be little. I feel for me, Marvel was even after doing Endgame, all of those things, they could have just replicated it again and again to make more money. But they did try something different. I'm happy that they experimented with Eternals. They tried something different. But what they really failed was not getting simple basic stuff right. That's my problem. So them not taking risk at all, that we'll not even take risk and we just focus on making big blockbusters. That's it. I think it's a sad reality that we live in, but we have to do what you have to do. It's business at the end of the day. Did you see Superman set photos? No, no, no. There's some fake fake pictures for out with this different costume and all, but yeah, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to add?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So that's it from us, guys. We'll be back soon with something new. That DC, we talked about DCU on screen. You can click and check that out. Interesting discussion with Manoj.
Sadly, I
And
was missing.
yeah, and
I'm
we'll
in the
see
comments
you
though.
next time. Keep geeking out.
Did you see the comments on that video?